other Premier League managers about what's been described as time-wasting tactics by
who doesn't do it?
Well, on that point, yeah, obviously.
Who complained?
Yeah, well, there's been Jurgen Klopp and Mikel Arteta.
Well, he time wastes.
Eric Ten Hag, yeah.
He time wastes.
Correct, yeah.
They all time waste when they get the last 5 minutes and they're winning 2-1. Don't be daft.
Yeah.
Rubbish, that is.
It's just, is that an observation you'd picked up on, and how do you try and keep that intensity up?
Well, I mean, we've all been talking about ball in play more than we've talked about time wasting, or whether ball in play is or can be improved. But the game is ferocious and quick enough as it is. You know, players' fatigue and players' injuries and players' resources are strained more than ever before. So if you speed the game up even more and you increase the level of time they're on the pitch even more in running out, you're going to get more and more injuries and more crippling injuries than you've ever got, because it's never been as quick as it is now. And with it being so quick, recovery time becomes of the essence, and then because there's so many games there is no recovery time. Because there's no recovery time, you get more and more injuries, and then you ultimately end up getting more and more chronic injuries, which may limit a player's career to a lot shorter than it should be. But we can't do anything about that because the players ask for so much money. We have to try and increase our profits and increase our turnover every year to fund the players that are so expensive to bring into Premier League football now.
Hi Sam, how do you deal with Newcastle United compared to Manchester City?
Different way of playing, and managing how they play, and the players obviously looking at how they play, and obviously trying to remember when they go out in the field what the strengths of Newcastle are to nullify them, and what their weaknesses are to try and obviously get a goal to score against them. So they play completely differently to Manchester City.
In the circumstance that you're in and that they're in, how big is the challenge for you to be offensive at home but also have that defensive resilience, bearing in mind it's going to be a bear?
Well, you know, they've got some talented players on the front three, haven't they? Like, I mean, there's more to come on. Almiron and Maxima, as well as, you know, the three up front they started with against Arsenal, like, I mean. So, big goal scorer in Wilson, which we have to manage. But then at the other end, you can get in behind and you can get down the side of Newcastle if you can break through midfield, like I mean. So depends on our quality then when we get to the final third and what we decide to do with that final ball. If we don't get the ball right, we won't create as many chances as we'd like. To put Newcastle under pressure and to hopefully have something to go forward with, because I'd like to score the first goal if possible. That's very important for us on Saturday. Getting the first goal would be, you know, a big lift. Not saying it would help us win the game. Not saying we would win the game, but you know, go a goal down would be a very difficult job, I think, mentally for the players to come back from. But if that's the case, they'd have to try and do it. What they won't have to do is go daft, like they have done before, and leave the back door open and concede 2, 3 and 4 again.